Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. I'm your brother Ogar from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man Sam, Ant, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News. You're in the building for a very special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. We got back in the building our good brother TJ Loftin, and we got here for the first time our brother Big Dre on the podcast. How you brothers doing this afternoon?
Bless.
Indeed. Happy to have you on this afternoon. TJ, you were back in the building for round two. We got an opportunity to chop it up with you and fellowship with you out at the All Black National Convention in Orlando last year. You can't believe it's already been a year. It's crazy to even think about how fast this joint is going, man. But talk to us, man. How you feeling? How you doing? And what's going on?
You know what I'm saying? About to put the rest one of our Lowrider legends, you know what I'm saying? Our us out with Lowrider. Get us out there like same amazing work like what y'all doing, you know. We good other than that, man. The world is doing what it do.
Dope. Yeah, so talk about us, man. Talk to us, I should say. Let's talk about the Lowriders. You wanted to come on the show and share some information with us. The floor is yours, brother TJ.
Well, you know, we got a homeboy named Young Hog Amp. You know, he created this these VHS tapes called Young Hog Productions. Where when I had my lowrider shop back in the days, they was giving African Americans a hard time getting to it from a global perspective. Meaning, I would run ads in Lowrider magazine, which is owned by other people, and they would turn around and put the wrong phone number out. My address would be wrong. It was never right. It was like they didn't want us to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So when my homeboy Young Hog created that video, he was telling them on the street like Crenshaw Boulevard, which is like the epicenter of lowriding. And when he did that, I just saw a video. I'm like, if you put this cat, I'm going to help this brother out. I'm going to put him in my lowrider ad in that lowrider magazine where they sold it to like 1.2 million people all around the world and in 4 countries. So that homeboy taking them videos, it put us out there and made us bigger than life. You know what I'm saying? It helped to take African Americans global. You know, like the homeboy Dre, they out there at the show right now. There's a whole lot of us out there. People look at it like, oh, Hispanics was on the lowrider. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, these guys are doing rap videos, TV shows, commercials. That be all us. They try to make it for it because they own them. They own the magazine. They be the ones that show interviews. That's why I said, let me call the homies and let y'all do something. See if we got to promote it. You know what I'm saying? But Amp was like a historical figure, man. That like what y'all did podcast right here. That really revolutionized everything. And the magazine came out. We wouldn't even worry about the magazine no more. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that, Dre?
I think that it says my mic is muted. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was an innovator in that, man, and more. He actually brought lowriding worldwide. Like the magazine is cool, but as we know today, nobody looks at the magazines, but everybody in prison. They Amp made. I call him Amp. Everybody else knows him as Young Hog. Amp took what we used to do on Crenshaw and at the street races, and he flipped it into making him some money, but he didn't even know that he was really taking the black lowriding culture really worldwide. I have so many people that come up to me at this day and time right now say, I grew up on Young Hog watching you, Ernest, Big Dwight, Dee, all these dudes rest in peace that lowrided in the 80s. Charles Clayton, which is our one of our forefathers that founded our club back in the day. These guys are known worldwide through Amp, who just videotaped what he's seen every day, put some music every Sunday, put some music to it, and sold it. And guys like TJ, who wanted to get us out there, put it in his shop, and then people would come from out of town, and then it started with the internet, and it just blew up. And like individuals, we have in it's 52 states. We got them in like 37 states, 2 or 3 in each state in different cities, and in Japan. And all that came from Young Hall and his videos.
Right.
Powerful.
When I put,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, finish your thought, TJ. I mean to interrupt you.
I would get phone calls from this. When I put them videos in the magazine, I would get phone calls from Germany saying they wanted to have exclusive distribution rights. You know what I'm saying? We having conversations that just wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me go figure out what that means and call you back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you mean? I had to call Terry Carter up. Like, what's exclusive distribution rights? He's like, what you know about that? That niggas don't get to do that. What are you talking about? I'm like, hey, this dude from Germany, he wants exclusive distribution rights for Germany. He like, tell that dude this much money and he got to maintain that every month. I'm like, oh, okay. But he bought stuff like that. Young Hall would call me up and say, hey man, these people called the box. They want to buy into my tapes. They want to use my tapes and put them on the air. Back when hip hop first was really getting started, you know what I'm saying? They had to download videos. You couldn't just click on MTV back in the days. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They want nothing to do with us. So he was out there putting his videos out, and even rappers, they would do rap videos. You know what I'm saying? Was you with them when all that, like Dre and them, when they was doing Snoop Dogg video shoot? Rappers started paying this cat to come out, and it was just like the conversations was major, y'all. And my thing is it's all about. I want to talk about him and all the other great legends like Dre just mentioned, because there's so many, like this little school, the prison pipeline thing, and these kids can't find no jobs. And it's like, man, we got cats out here that taking 2 and 3 years to get their car painted. You know what I'm saying? And they willing to pay big money to paint the car and wrap a frame and welding and trades. And I'm like, we got to keep talking about these legends. We got to talk about these things that's happening, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. So if they don't see it in a positive light, they gonna keep thinking it's something negative and stay away from it, you know. But that dude we burying too many legends that nobody know about other than us, if that makes sense. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, brother.
And if we don't continue to bring these guys to the front, our part of the culture will be lost. And that's what we don't want. Like what me and TJ do is the STEM program, you know what I mean? And it just it shows the kids that every aspect of this low riding has a niche. You could be a painter, you could be an artist, you could do interior, you could do sewing, you could do auto mechanics. The hydraulics is totally electrical mixed with oil. I mean, it's so many different facets on a lowrider that you can learn chroming, chrome plating, you know what I mean? Gold plating like TJ used to do back in the day. It's so many different niches that you can get into that, I mean, it's $1 million, it's $1 billion industry, and we are a big part of it. And that's why me and TJ are so cool, because we want to do the same thing. We want to keep this because it's my lifestyle. I just drove all the way from LA to Vegas, pulling 2 cars by myself in this truck I'm sitting in right now. So this, huh?
Y'all got out there.
Oh man, y'all finna go crazy. Hold on, let me get out the truck.
I know it's burning hot.
And this is just it's scorching out. And the reason I got on a damn sweater is because I left my shirt at home and I got on a slingshot. Hold on, let me get out the car.
Yes, sir. Do your thing, man.
Open up doors.
Take your time.
Shit.
Transmission shops, muffler shops, all type of stuff. All type of 6 and 7 figure year business. It's crazy. Created a whole industry.
Yes, sir.
So how do I turn my camera around?
That's a good question.
Because I see camera.
You probably do it the way you regularly do it on your video.
I'm looking for it on see it.
Just turn
on the camera.
Yeah, I've never seen the ability to do it. You might not be able to.
You know, so I'm just gonna turn it around.
Okay.
So you see that blue Cadillac over there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that's a 94 Brougham.
Okay.
This is a 67 Caprice.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a 88 Baby Lincoln.
Okay.
That's Pastor Faye's car, our fallen sister. She's one of the ones that we recognize. She's the first and only lady from the Individuals.
Right.
Car Club. Then you got, so I'm from LA. He's from San Bernardino County. He's from Atlanta. That's from LA. And then let me show you this Deuce over here. This is 62. He just came down from Ventura. He actually paints my cars.
Ooh. That's nice, bad boy.
Let me show you the top. This is what the guy that owns this car, this is what he does.
Ah, okay.
See all the patterns. That right there was pioneered by a brother named Doc. That dude bad is the greatest that ever lived, man. He pioneered that whole industry.
And then he painted that over there too. That Monte Carlo. That came from Ventura County also. Nice. And this right here, this is Pastor Faye's car. She was a pastor.
Okay.
And you said she passed away?
Yeah, she passed away.
Okay.
Now they got like got Pastor Faye Day when all the lowriders come out and represent her.
Oh, that's dope. Hummingbird.
She got the scriptures in there.
Wow.
That's her hat. We still ride this car just like she left it.
Nice.
So can you brothers kind of break down the inception of how this culture even started, from like its creation from a structural perspective, and then how it kind of came into the neighborhoods and into the culture and how it took off?
Well, back in the day, I'm not sure exactly what you call the black version. Hold on, let me get in the truck. Hold on.
You go, bro.
Get tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, man. We got two great brothers here today, Brother Dre and Brother TJ Loftin, real estate expert. Talk about the history, the inception of the Lowrider. Let's get it.
Celebrity car building today. Retired celebrity car building.
So back in the day, you had the Zoot Suiters, and on the other side of the tracks, you had the blacks. And all these people came from the war, just like the motorcycle clubs and the motorcycle riders. I'm not sure exactly what year it was, but let me see. The 80s and the 70s and 80s, the pop locking era.
Yeah.
When they used to lock and do the rerun on What's Happening.
Yeah.
We started all that.
Wow.
And now you see multicultural people doing it, if that's a word. Cultural, I can't pronounce it. But yeah, so back then, that's when it started, and it started with going low and slow. That's why it's called low riding. Before they did hydraulics, they used to put bricks or heat their coils up to lower their cars. And they had to go over train tracks really, really slow because you'll rip the whole bottom out your car because it was so low and you couldn't raise it up.
Right.
Yeah.
And this started in the 50s. Then came, I'm not sure who started. I'm gonna find out all this for you guys. But one of the first blacks that done it, I gotta figure his name out. They took the what do you call it? The lift gate trucks. They used to steal the lift gate motors off the trucks, which is nothing but a hydraulic pump with a starter motor on it that twists and turns with the electricity and pumps the oil to make the lift gate move whichever way you want it to move.
On the trash, you talking about the trash trucks back in the day. Remember how the people would hang on the back of the trash truck? Trash, and they hit a button, then it smashed the trash. They would steal that motor off the back of those trash trucks.
Dang.
And figured out how to, a dude in Fresno figured out how to make cylinders and make the car go up and down with the cylinders, like push the A-arms, y'all call them A-frames. Push the A-arms down, which would in turn raise the body of the car up. So they started out with just, drilling holes, taking out the shocks and putting this, it's called a stroke, putting this mechanism in there that pushes down on the A-arms and which raises the body of the car up. And then they had a string that they would run through the back seat to pull, and it would make the car go down.
Wow, man.
That's fast track. So one of the real pioneers that from that was a guy named Gary May. He came in and he turned around, and I called him the mad scientist. You know what I'm saying? Because that was his whole life. It was all about innovation. You know what I'm saying? He was the first person. He would take aircraft hydraulics and just start updating hydraulics. You know what I'm saying? In these cars. He was all about making cars jump off the ground the highest. But it was Gary May. You remember Terry Carter, right? Y'all know who Terry is, right?
Yep. Okay. Suge Knight. Yeah.
Right. So Gary May and Terry Carter had a shop together. And Gary May and Terry Carter both came together and decided, you know what? This rap, Terry Carter had a record label. Him and Cube had partnered to start the Heavyweight Records. So that's when they told me, it was a little before that though, they told me you need to open the shop because we're about to start making sure that every rap video that come out of Compton to LA got a Lowrider in it. So we're about to make some money. So they start pushing all of us to start making shops. Because I used to be a student of Gary May back in the day. You know what I mean? When I was 9, 10 years old, I would ride my bike and go by his house, and that's where all the cool guys would be hanging out at. But Gary May was so good at what he did, they turned around and the Hispanics were so mad because he would win all the car shows. So they got mad enough to say, you know what, we can't beat him no more. We can't beat him, so let's make him a judge. And that way he can't compete against us anymore. Like that show that Dre and them at now, Gary May, if he was alive, he'd be a judge right now. But when he became that judge, that locked him out of that industry. So now he heavily depended on people like me and Big Dwight and all these other cats. So like Big Dwight, I would partner up with him and we would go do shows and all types of stuff. I would just send people to go places, tell Young Hog, you guys got to go do this, you got to go do that show. And it was all for representation, for the culture, to let people know we here. Because I had homeboys that was my homeboy. I thought this was my best friend, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't look like us. And he would go out of town and tell everybody like the Hispanics is the biggest thing in Lowrider, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, what? So Gary May came to me and said, "No, I need you to start going to the car shows." I'm like, "Which one?" He's like, "All of them." It's like car shows all over the United States. He's like, "We need representation."
Right.
So we really got to come together because we didn't build this amazing thing. Now we got to protect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that's the biggest thing. And it's like now, you know what I'm saying? I hear Gary, it's like literally, I still hear him in my ear telling me, "Man, I need you to do this and I need you to do that." So it's like, I turn around and reach out to Dre, say, "Hey man, I'm going to go holler at the people at the Black College Expo. I need you to drop some lowriders off because I'm going to fly in. I'm going to go to the Black College Expo. 15,000 of us, black folks in the building, nonprofit ran by us. They ain't seen nothing like this." Boom, Dre drops the lowriders off. Next thing you know, I'm in there talking about lowriders, and it blows their mind. They like, dang, they asking electric car questions, and I'm answering all the questions because you electricity in the trunk of a lowrider. You got 12. You be having a minimum of 8 to 20 batteries in the trunk. That ain't nothing but electricity. We talking about candy paint jobs. We talking about aircraft hydraulics, fluids, understanding the amount of pressure, check valves, dumps, solenoids, all this type of stuff. But it's not being talked about. Nobody's really talking about it from our perspective. So that's why I partner with my homies. I'm like, look, I'm finna just take off the low riding clothes and take off the dirty, oily clothes, and I'm finna start going out here into this other world and let them know we exist. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't no real financial problems in this community. We got cars going for $200,000. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them Chevys and Pally, you see a 64 convertible with a Corvette engine in it. We talking about car run $130,000, $150,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
So why y'all looking at me like I'm still a drug dealer or something? You know what I mean? When I just sold 2 or 3 cars last month at that price. You know what I mean? You know, we got cats who creating, you know what I'm saying, innovation. Like Gary May came up with this thing called the May pump. You know what I'm saying? this hydraulics was going to revolutionize everything, but he died. You know, but my whole thing is most people don't know who these guys are.
Right.
And I'm just getting tired of it. It's like amazing people. Like we going out here and we talking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, much love and much respect to all of my brothers, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, these cats gave us opportunities that all of a sudden I can say, hey man, I made 7 figures last year. You know what I'm saying? I gave 25 of my homeboys jobs. You know what I'm saying? I helped 14 people start a business last month because of the stuff these guys pioneered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like nobody else has a story like that. So that whole thing needs to be pushed. And I realized I thought I would just be able to walk into schools and, hey, Dre, let's go into the school. Hey, Dwight, let's go into the school. Man, I've been getting so much pushback because they try to put this gangbang stuff on us. It's like, no. That's like the other day we had a situation where some people got shot in. Go ahead, bro.
Hold on, Dre. We had to mute you, brother. My fault. Go. You want to say something?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, and that's what we do with this through the STEM situation, and the National Lowriders Organization. We are doing our best to take the negative stigma off of low riding. Like you have all sorts of businessmen doing this, like the car salesman, like he was just saying, you sell a car, they got this dude with TV shows called Trading Up and all that kind of stuff, right? And all he do is buy an old ass car, go fix it up. He bought it for $100, fix it up, sold it for $2,000. Then go buy another car for $2,000, fix it up. You know what I mean? And that's what we've been doing for years. But all of a sudden they give them a TV show behind it.
Wow.
So the negative stigma comes from back in the day and them basically putting that on us by, you know, some of these rappers putting this in there. I mean, I don't knock a rapper for what he do because his job is to rap and do what he do. My job is to build cars and do what I do. So, but we as a people have to stop with the rap, gang banging, shooting out of a lowrider. Who shoots out their lowrider?
Right.
I'm not shooting shit out my lowrider. Matter of fact, when I was doing my thing, I had a carload of friends that had guns. I'm not riding with no gun.
Right.
It's not my thing because at the end of the day on a Sunday, low riding is peace between all cultures. You got Mexicans and blacks that will war, and I'm gonna say Venice, for instance. We're just gonna use that city. You got Mexicans and black in Venice that will war with each other, kill each other Monday through Saturday, but yet still that same black man could come on Venice Boardwalk in his lowrider and party with these same Mexicans. We might not drink at each other and all that kind of stuff because of political shit, but we can party together because guess what? My kids is out there, his kids is out there. We love cars, they love cars. I build my own car, he built his own car. So that's what TJ really puts out there, and we try to do it. Boy, that's what like I said, that's why I became the vice president of the National Lowrider Association, because we feed the community. We do backpacks. We do the STEM program. I mean, we do gang intervention. Like we do a peace ride that we would go to 2 warring hoods in the middle of it and do a prayer with these dudes in our lowriders. And because we in lowriders, they respect that, and we got a pastor with us. They respect us, and they drop the guns.
Wow,
great thing.
One more thing, and I'm gonna let TJ go ahead. I got the founder of my club. His name is Kuda. He's one of the originators of lowriding, the first generation. Gary May and them was actually second generation. Terry Carter, second generation. Those guys blew it out of the water, in other words. Like you had these dudes that was doing the work, and these other little young dudes was watching them. Like I'm gonna use Kuda, I'm gonna use my founder, for example. They building cars. He stopped building cars and took on the father role and the family role and started teaching kids and doing football. The same kids that was running around his neighborhood watching him building cars is now playing football professionally or whatever the case may be, or low riding, building nice ass $200,000-$300,000 cars. just from watching him in his garage or in their front yard.
So, we want people to pay attention to what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a lot of powerful things happening in the automotive industry. Like they did the Super Bowl halftime show a while back. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all seen that, right?
Yep.
That was a historical situation for Lowrider. You know, when you look, if you was at that Super Bowl, you'll see they had a big old digital billboard of Terry Carter. He's rest in peace, y'all know that. But they had a big old digital picture of Terry Carter on the Jumbotron spinning around, like leaning on his red 64 convertible. You know what I'm saying? Like much love and respect to the legends. You know what I mean? And it was like major. But my whole thing is now we did that, and now you got people like Rick Ross turns around and he has a big giant car show out in his mansion out here with me in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, we got to keep an eye on that because other cultures is like they gonna pull their kids out of school, say we ain't gonna send you to school to get your degree. We want you to learn how to paint so that you can go out there and charge these cats $20,000 to paint their car. You know what I'm saying? So you can build their cars and you can sell these cars like TJ did and get your $195,000 for a convertible 57. You know what I'm saying? Or your $300,000 for a convertible 58 Chevy Impala. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So like I'm sitting there with so they realize and recognize the opportunities in this industry. I'm talking about we didn't ship cars to so many countries, y'all. Germany, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the biggest things I really want to talk about is, like, if you go out there where Dre is right now, man, because of what we did back in the day, like you got the homie Big Dwight with him somewhere in the background. Me and Big Dwight and some other cats, we was the ones who really pushed the line on stopping the gang violence in LA so that we could get this low riding thing off the ground. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you heard this one before, Dre. The homie Momo from Fruittown, Peru, told me he needed me to open the doors up and call some of my homeboys because I grew up messing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the blood neighborhood. I messed with everybody. I knew everybody like Big Dwight. I knew the homie from Grape Street, and I was dealing with everybody. So he was like, "Okay, well, you dealing with everybody. I need you to let them know we want to go to the car show. What is that thing? In LA on Figueroa, Dre."
Hold on, we got to unmute him. There you go.
What was the car? What's the car show on Figueroa? That used to where he at now? It used to be in LA. What's that? Figueroa?
Oh, the Super Show.
The Super Show. No, it was held at the Coliseum, right?
Yeah, Coliseum.
It was all Crips that used to go there back in the day, and they did not want the Bloods to go there. And it was Momo from Fruittown. He had a convertible 62 Deuce, and he called it the Super Deuce. Man, he told me that we're gonna open some doors up and let all these cats in rival neighborhoods know we're about to drive through there. We don't want no problems. So that was kind of like me calling over to China and saying, "Look, I need to pull the sanctions off of y'all. I need to tariffs off of y'all and renegotiate because we want to bring 50 lowriders through there." But that opened the door up when it all worked out, and that opened the door up for Gary May to win the show. Both of his cars came in first place single pump, first place double pump. And the next thing you know, OG homie named Honcho came to him and said, "Can you do my car?" Crip dude. And that was historical because like Honcho talking to a blood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just took off from there. Now when you look at it, they got blood and Crip motorcycle clubs and car clubs now. But the news don't show that. They don't want you to know that they got Bloods and Crips and Mexicans standing out here on Crenshaw side by side, talking shit to each other, laughing at their lowriders and working on the trunk and helping them fix this car. They don't want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like what they saying and portraying in the news. We kind of paved the way for everybody to get along. I see cats like Dre's a Crip. I grew up in Blood, but we buddies. We doing all this together, but people, they don't want nobody to know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people to know that we really cool like that because we got a common thing that we love together, and it's these cars. You see what I'm saying? I didn't working with people, man. They like, I remember when I went to jail, the dudes came at me, the white guys came at me with the Aryan Nation and all of that. And I'm like, homie, what are you talking about? They was coming with that push the line on me. And I'm like, hold up, homie. I'm like, my homie such and such. And they looked at me crazy. And it's like the leader of the Aryans or something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, it's like, how you know him? I'm like, I was the one that built some stuff on his car. And we was cool after that. They verified it. Like, oh shit, you know TJ? They like, he wear glasses. Leave him alone. Yeah, that's my boy. He's cool. They like, wow, we didn't know that we had friends that's black. Mexicans like, we didn't know that we mess with blacks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you was cool with some Bloods. Like, oh yeah, that's an exception. The car thing, that's an exception. He the only one that know how to do this. He the only one that know how to shoot candy paint. Doc is the only one that know how to really do the patterns on the top. So all these kind of guys got a pass. Nobody bothered them. And that's why I say we need to funnel more people into these industries because it's like less of us. Like if you look up in history, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre just spent $200 million on the Compton School District. Y'all hear about that?
No. Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Cool that. We took Dr. Dre up there and he gave $200 million, started off with $10 million. You know what I'm saying? If you look up, you'll see me sitting right there with Centennial High School. We just got a gang of money. So I went into my old high school and told them we want the trades put back in here. They like, we ain't got no money. So all of a sudden, boom, here comes Dre with a bag of money. All of a sudden, I'm in Centennial High School like, okay, take all this out. Remove that. We want brand new air compressors. We went and bought a car, electric car in a box, homie. Electric car in the box. And bought it to the school so they could take it out the box and figure out how to put it all together. So I said, look, this mechanic class, which I'm still an advisor to the Compton Inglewood School District. Matter of fact, I'll be up there next week when I'm in town. I'm like, look, y'all not going to just be up in here changing alternators and starters, all that. They up in there wrapping frames and placing quarter panels and doing floors. But then when I look back, I'm like, it's only three African Americans in the class.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? In LA, it's like, man, the gentrification is kicking their butt so bad that African Americans is down to less than 21%. So every time we did, like Dre spent all that money, $200 million plus, it's probably way more than that, y'all. It's way more than that. Wow. But we doing the Compton School District and putting all the trades in there. But my question is now, how many of us going to benefit from that? And as I'm sitting in there teaching the classes, I'm looking and I'm like, parents don't even really want to put their children in a trade. Well, we don't want him to be a mechanic. I'm like, hold on. That's why my homeboy, you got to look up another cat named Tony Ellis. He tell me, TJ, you got to stop using mechanic and start telling him you a celebrity car builder because you build a lot of celebrity cars. And you over there working on rapper stuff. And I'm like, but I don't want to be trying to brag and all that stuff. You know, I don't want to get in all of that stuff. He like, man, that's the only way they're going to hear you talk. I'm like, wow, that don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, we over here making good money. We great. We got families. We buying home. We homeowners now. We got commercial buildings. We own businesses. We got employees, people that we grew up with working for us. I thought that was going to be enough. I'm like, nah. You up against the beast. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for sure, we out here doing the work, handling the business and growing the community, but not enough of us know. Not enough of us knowing about it and getting it. That's why I wanted to reach out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all put this out there. Man, the school system is failing, homie. This education system, they're like 90%. 90% of college graduates, over 90% is unemployed or underemployed. And now it's in the news, they asking for a bailout. They matter of fact, they're mad because they didn't get what they really wanted. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yet in the automotive industry, we asking for a bailout. We need some help, meaning we got two cats that I was in the game, I used to get cars painted in 2 weeks. Now it take, how long it take to paint a car now, Dre? What these cats going through?
10 years.
Dang.
What?
They be like, we're in paint prison.
We call it paint prison.
They in paint.
You ain't joking? 10 years?
Nah, I mean, I've literally seen people take their cars in there and it sits. Matter of fact, I just got one of my club members' cars back. It's set for 12 years and nothing get done to it.
Damn.
cut all.
But that just comes from bad business. That doesn't really have much to do with that. That comes from bad business etiquette, like robbing Peter to pay Paul, and taking on so much work that you refuse to pay the right people to. And I hate talking about my people like this, but we had that problem. We don't want to pay people what they worth.
Word. Facts.
I don't like talking about that, but it's the truth. So I know people that have car shops that lose all their workers because they working their knuckles down to the bone, and you don't want to give them no money. But this is like TJ said, if we start making it mandatory in the schools, then the outcome would be more. You'd have more painters, and you'd have more body men, and have more electricians to do the work and to open their own shops.
Word.
The way it was happening with me, because I was kind of like a leader of putting these cats in business. As the industry grew so big, as the industry grew and it took off, because remember, it used to be like 3,000 cars in Compton, LA, and Watts. Now it's like 10 million worldwide.
Right.
Got cats sending cars all the way from Spain to get painted. You know what I mean? You got billionaires bringing their cars over on yachts, dropping them off. But as I've seen this, I would have homeboys that had shops, and they only should be working on 10 cars. They got 4 employees. That's enough to work on 10 cars. They got 25 cars in the shop, fully paid for. And I would be like, homie, that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? It's hard trying to turn down a guy who coming in there with a 59 Chevy, like he got 4 cars, and he want to drop $400,000 cash to get all 4 of them done, or this TV show come in that we want to do this movie and we need to build these 459s. Well, he gonna push everything to the side, take that big $500,000 check, and keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, home, that was the biggest problem I've seen. But my thing is, if they had a paint shop on every corner, if everybody knew how to paint, we wouldn't be having that problem. You know what I'm saying? If we just recognize that industry, and they like, man, I can make more money than if I learn how to paint a car or shoot a candy, or if I learn how to weld and wrap a frame and do designs and I can make 6 and 7 figures a year if I'm good at it. You know, I don't have to go to college and have student debt, and you know what I'm saying, and can't qualify to purchase a home because of my student loan. I could just pay cash after selling a couple of cars. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I've had doors open for me, y'all. That was unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? The homies calling me, asking me, TJ, they want to rent my lowrider to put in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Should I let them use it? I'm like, why? What are they gonna do with it? Oh, they want to shoot it up. You know what I'm saying? We got Queen Latifah, we got Jada Pinkett, we got, like, homie, they want to do what? Oh, they want to shoot the car up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna rob a bank. And I'm like, how much you think I should charge them? And I'm like, that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? But we was having conversations. It just opened doors up. But getting back to, you know what I'm saying, like Young Hog and them, that really pushed the line to where, like, what's your average amount of videos you do a month, Ray? How many videos you been doing? Like, this cat just been in a whole lot of rap videos or something.
I mean, we made rappers. We was in Cam video when we see the thing is this: when you got lowriders in your thing and they acting crazy, people see that and then they gravitate right to your music. Like, I want to play that. Like, Let Me Ride video. I was in that video. I was in Cam Peace Treaty video. We made these rappers, and these rappers don't pay homage to us. I mean, I like what Dr. Dre did. I'm gonna keep it 100, but they don't pay homage to us because without us, honestly, without them cars that we built, that they was too scared to build, or just don't even try to build. You know what I mean? They'd rather go get a Benz, but yet still, Benz didn't make your video.
Right.
Cam's first video was Peace Treaty, and that's what blew his name up. And it was our picnic, an individual's picnic that everybody was. So if y'all Google that right now, Peace Treaty, you'll see me eating a rib in there. You'll see Big Boy. You'll see, I mean, we did that. That's what made him. Dr. Dre, Let Me Ride. I'm holding up the plaque, jumping the car. That's my club in there. You know, we got Armenians, man, with $200,000 Cadillacs. It's unheard of. But back in the day, Dre, Snoop video, Gin and Juice, the purple Cadillacs that was in the the movie scene where they was in the back in the movies watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Them is all my club, man. We wanted to innovate. We wanted the first clubs to be doing this. You know what I mean? Our club been around since '76.
You know what's crazy? Compton rap took off. The West Coast rap took off so much because of the cars. You know, when you look at New York, they was talking about my cheek and my truck. You know what I'm saying? It was all about bouncing cars. They was trying to damn. So by the time they figured it out, they realized, they said, wait a minute, it's them low riders. So I got pictures, homie. The homie called me one day and said, hey, Jay-Z coming down here. He want to buy a rag from me. You need to come over here when you get up here. I'm like, Jay-Z? He's like, that cat from New York. I'm like, oh, I know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z bought a rag trade from Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I got these stories times thousands. All these cats from all around the world, all these rappers from all around the country flying into Compton and LA, buying a lowrider so that they can use them in their videos so that they can get them same amount of views, because we kind of took the lead on that. They like, why isn't Compton LA rappers getting all the views? Why they everybody watching their views? And the songs wasn't that great. They like, no, they had that Rag 59 in that video. It's like Snoop was in the Rag 59, you know, in that commercial, you know, so that Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
That's Chris Mills' car. What is he, a basketball player or something?
Hold on, Dre got to get unmuted. Hold on, brother.
Sorry about that.
Very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris Mills played for the Clippers with the black 59 that was in that commercial with the drone flew up under it and all that kind of stuff. Super Bowl. Yeah, that's our buddy Chris Mills. He's a real street dude. And let me just add this: the reason that you had to low was took off so tough was because back in the day you had to be a real gangster to drive a lowrider. Most of them was gang members. Don't get it too. I'm not gonna never sugarcoat nothing. But you had to be a real gangster to drive a lowrider, especially ones on Dayton's. And you know, people take to the gangsterism. Look at Al Capone. His movies are still making money about his life. They called Dayton's back in the day Killer Dayton's because you could lose your life over a dude wanting to steal your Dayton's. So if you wasn't a real gangster, you wasn't riding, you wasn't low riding. That's not you would go drive a fast car or something, or you would do a Dr. Dre or a Snoop and go pay these dudes, pay us to bring the low rider to it. Because these niggas never had a low rider. Dre bought one. That folk. I'm gonna keep it one. Listen, I don't sugarcoat nothing, bro. These niggas didn't drive low rider. Snoop ain't.
I know.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is a perfect example. Have you ever seen Snoop's cars? Some fucking garbage.
Hey, he said in the song, yeah,
that Laker car, ugly as shit. We don't low ride Pontiacs.
He was supposed to listen to his own song. If it ain't a shit, you don't raise it up, right? He wasn't going by his own words. You know what I'm saying? And that
not at all.
That was a bad look, though.
So,
you know?
And the movie Boys in the Hood. We got cars in that. The newest movie, Straight Outta Compton. My girl Tina from Supernatural. They got cars in that.
Wow.
These are all stuff, and none of these, man. Listen, he had a trade because he was a real little crazy little gangster dude. You know what I mean? He was a little dope dealing gang member, but not glorifying gangsterism. That's not what I'm doing.
Right,
I'm just really making a point that these rapper dudes just stole or promoted our culture as theirs.
Hey, but check this out. Go ahead, finish your thought. Go ahead.
That's basically it, homie. They just took our personalities. Like I said, O'Shea Jackson, I live around the corner from his mama. My cousin lives directly around the corner from his mama. For y'all don't know, that's Q. He was a little football player dude. He never gang banged a day in his life.
Right.
Wow.
DLC, gang bang. That's my cousin. He'll be out here. I'm waiting on him to call me right now. He performing tonight. Yeah, them gangsters.
DLC was really talking about, remember Low Profile? DLC talking about Ice Cube. And that y'all remember that old song where he's
Mac 10, my boy Mac 10, real gangster. You know what I'm talking about? Like, like they was it. They was with the business, and they lowrided, and I could blame them too. They allowed people like Cube and Dre and Snoop to steal our culture. I mean, it's their culture too because it's the black culture. But what I mean is they wasn't part of it. Put it like that. Until they started rapping, and we made them platinum hits. So with that being said, get back to we need to bring that back with the kids. Like TJ is saying, we need to wear shirts. And I was just thinking, why you know how stuff resonate in your mind while you talking. We need to take a month every month and pick one of these guys, TJ, like not Ted Wells, he's still living. Gary May, Momo, Terry Carter, Big D, the painter. Big D and Doc, them was the coldest painters. Everybody fashions themselves after these two dudes. Big D, I got a green 70 Impala. And the same Mexican dude that painted that 62 over there painted my Mexican Impala. Big D seen it before he died, about maybe 6 months, maybe a year before he died. Big D was the most innovative flake painter on the map. And he told me, he said, Dre, you really listen to what I've been telling you. I said, what you talking about, D? He said, your car is immaculate. It looked like I painted it. Wow. I said, and a little Mexican dude painted it, my partner. And his name is Coach One. He gave that dude all the kudos in the world. So we need to bring that back, TJ, like you said. Every month, let's represent one of our fallen soldiers. I mean, we do a picnic, but I mean, we need to do it every month, like you said, bro. We need to do something.
I take it to the next level, you know what I'm saying? Because I look at, another thing, I looked at all the innovations. It's like, we were talking about them gangsters. I'm looking at when the real gangsters was like Ducky and Big Dave and them. Where's Big Ducky at now? He's bodyguard for Rick Ross. That's his bodyguard. Ducky.
I can call it. I can get him on the phone right now. Him and Dave.
Wow.
Y'all don't know that about me, but I was in the feds with both of them.
Oh, okay.
Ducky was 20-something years. You know what I'm saying? All these cats. It's like that whole industry of lowriding opened up doors. So it put the rap, and the rapper said, well, dang, we need to take you cats with us because we can't go up in Detroit without a real gangster with us. You know what I'm saying? We can't go in New York without having some real players with us. You know what I'm saying? What's up, homies? we can't go. We can't go all over America without having all
That's why I don't want to cut you off, but you're speaking of all over America. That's my boy Peter, and that's his son, Lil Peter. They in my club from Arizona. Just pulled up. Got cars out here. How long?
About to bust some ass out here.
Word.
How long ago? Watch this. How long ago you been looking at Young Hog tapes?
Man, years there before I even got in the club. That's what made me want to get in the club. At least.
See, that's that part that people don't want people to know about.
Right. Give us 1 second. We can hear you, brother, but there we go.
All right, we see, bro. His video dropped off.
Okay. See that part right there? He out there with the Bloods, the Crips, the Mexicans. They're all in the same club.
Oh, no. Hey, you hear him? You hear what he just said? Say it again.
Shit, that's what made me want to get in the club. Watching all these old motherfuckers doing it out there. Shit.
On what kind of tapes?
Young Hog shit. And I remember back in the day watching these guys doing it with the Cadillacs and shit. So now we out here with the Cadillacs ready to bust Dre's ass and shit.
He's talking about busting my ass. Because I got a Cadillac. That's my Cadillac. I'm going to tear his ass up. I'm going to knock all the doodles on his ass today.
He's making all kinds of shit up right now. Shit. He's making all kinds of shit up. Friendly competition.
But yeah, they're from Arizona. Just to show you.
Appreciate that, man. That's great.
Just aside, I see y'all be interviewing a lot of rappers and a lot of people, and they don't bring us up though. You know what I'm saying? But all of us that did stuff for them, you know what I'm saying? We the one put them on the map. Like these cats would do the videos. I didn't have time for all that. I'm like, they ain't giving us no credit. They just $1,500. That ain't enough to pay for something that break. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
most people did it because they wanted to be around these Snoop Dogs and the Dre's and the Jay-Z's and the 50 Cents and all these different kind of people. But it's like, man, if we don't talk about it, you know what I'm saying? We need to, all it takes is for one of them rappers to say, yeah, I got a trade. I started a business. You know what I'm saying? I'm living the life. You think I'm a drug dealer, but I really own a paint shop. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
People have cats jumping the fence, trying to go learn how to, maybe I ain't going to drop out of school. That's like with me. I was in the 12th grade. I was damn near ready to drop out of school. But it's like my mechanic shop, they gave me a mechanic class at Centennial High School in Compton in the 12th grade. I was like, man, this about that life right here. I can make money off this. Every class, I'm going home like, hey, I can change your spark plug. Give me $25. I can change your oil. Give me $25. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do it. I'm making money every day. All because I had a trade in high school. That's why I was able to go back. And now the whole class has been totally redone. Ultra modern, just top technology of everything in there. You know what I'm saying? And they like, I'm up there. I'm calling cats like Dre and everybody else. But like I said, man, I done seen this low riding thing elevate in the thing. I got homies, you know what I'm saying, getting fresh out of the pen like Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? That's the homie. He got his homie straight out of the neighborhood, straight out of prison, is his Al Patron. You know what I'm saying? He is bodyguard when he going out of town, his road manager now. It morphed into a whole lot of amazing things that ain't being talked about. You know what I'm saying? It shuts the door like, oh, he was in prison before. Oh, he went to jail. Oh, he got a felony. They put tricks on us to make us cut our own people off. Like, wait a minute. What about right now? He owns a home. He's been to 14 countries, traveling with rappers. He's been all around the world twice. You know what I'm saying? He got all his children going with him now. You know what I'm saying? And they don't talk about that part. But at the same time, I wasn't talking about it either. And that's when Gary made one of the founders of Terry Carter, like, you got to talk about it.
Right.
You're making all this money and ain't saying nothing, man. That don't make no sense. We got to talk about this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of haters out there, but I'm like, you know what? If I don't tell people that, hey, I actually did this and I used to own that, they ain't never going to believe there's money in that industry. You feel me?
Right.
You don't show these videos like they say, man, you better be careful showing yourself that you got relationships with all these gangsters these days. That might mess up your platform. I'm like, hey, these kids worship the gangsters, like what Dre was saying. They worship these gangsters. They watching Al Capone. They watching Scarface. They naming themselves after that.
Yeah.
Got to tell you a little bit about my background just to get their attention. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to talk Big Duck, or you want to talk this gangster Dub C? Hold on, let me call them. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. You know them? You know what I'm saying? And now they listening now. Now they listening. They ain't playing no more. They ain't walking out the night. Now they gonna listen to this good information that we're sharing about a career that they can turn around and start a business and employ their family and friends. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't gotta go to jail. Ain't gotta get shot at. They gonna protect you. Like when I had my shop, I'm a blood. And I put a shop in the Crip neighborhood, in Dre's neighborhood. And I had
he still owes rent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dre's my best friend. I ended up with his old Cadillac. We were just laughing about that. But anyway, I had to clean it in when he had it up. But go ahead.
Well, we definitely appreciate you brothers' insight, man, and the wisdom and the knowledge. And it was a lot of stuff we did not know about as we grew up watching hip hop and how we got, grew up on hip hop and West Coast hip hop. You guys played a huge and major part in that. So I'm glad you guys got to talk about that. We definitely want to have you back on. For time reasons, we got to get up out of here because we got another interview coming up. But let the people know where they can find you, man. Mr. TJ Loftin, appreciate your wisdom as always. Can't wait to have you back on. Big Dre, definitely appreciate getting to meet you and getting to hear your wisdom as well. So let the people know where they can find you guys at, and let the people know what you got going on before we get up out of here.
TJ Loftin, I'll be in matter of fact, I'll be in LA in the mall this weekend in Westfield Mall in Culver City doing a book signing. I'm the author of Monetizing Gentrification. I'm like the real estate guru out here, celebrity car builder. So I'll be out there doing a book signing this weekend. on next Friday coming up. Matter of fact, at 6 p.m. in Culver City, California. Other than that, y'all can find me at my website, tjloftin.com. TJ Loftin, Loftin. All my social media is Thomas TJ Loftin. I do public speakings. You know, if y'all want to hear this low riding history and hear about entrepreneurship and innovations, you know, reach out to me and I do all that, y'all.
Yes, sir.
And you can catch me at Big Dre, that's BIGDRE_Gardena, or Big Dre _individuals, #individuals. Everything comes up. Paula Montgomery, National Lowrider Association on Facebook page. You can just put in NLRA and that'll come up. Look at him, man. This dude TJ crazy. Hey, it's Big Eye Gang. Look, it's Big Eye Gang and Don't Bang. You see it?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, big individuals, man. Just #individuals, bro. You're gonna find all of us all over the world, bro. Like I said, and just ask TJ. You can get on his website, ask him where Dre at, and then he'll find me. He know how to get me. He come knock on my door when he in LA. And I appreciate y'all for having me on, bro, for real.
Nah, I mean, we definitely appreciate the wealth of knowledge, and yeah, much success to you, brothers, and definitely love to have you on in the future, man.
Get at me.
All right, no doubt.
Appreciate y'all. TJ Loftin, Big Dre on the Hip Hop Essential Podcast. Salute.